Hey there. Welcome to the Confident Woman Lead podcast. I'm your host, Anita Miller. And today we're going to be talking about the three skills you need in order to grow your career and or your business. All right. So we often think about needing different skills when it comes to the work that we do for someone else and then what we want to do in our businesses. But I have found that there are lots of skills that overlap. And what I find happens is you may be trying to avoid learning that skill in a professional setting, in corporate America, healthcare, wherever you work. And instead saying, I want to be my own boss. But the skill is the skill. It's kind of what I always say, right? So I'll give an example that's not covered today. Visibility. If you want to be visible and you're not being visible at work, it is highly unlikely that you are going to show up and be visible in your business because you have not practiced the skill of showing up for yourself, of showing up and letting other people see you. So you might be like, oh, the people at work don't notice me. They're not, respecting me. They're not recognizing me. Okay. Are you going to get up on the internet, whether it's a podcast, whether it's going live, however you want to do a YouTube channel, and be visible? And in my experience, the answer is no. Yes, there are some anomalies of people who wasn't doing good in corporate and are able to shine in business, but not often. Again, I coach a lot of people, a lot of women in particular. And if you're not doing it at work, you won't have the skill to do it in your business. So the three skills that you need in order to grow your career or your business. Number one, the ability to sell. There is no getting around selling. And there is no getting around that whether you are in a professional setting or whether you work for yourself. The only difference is whether or not you eat. When you come to work for yourself, selling is a requirement in order for you to make money. Selling is a requirement. When you want to grow your career, selling is a requirement. So let's talk about first how selling kind of takes place in a work setting. The interviewing process, where they're asking you questions, where maybe you ask a few questions, that whole encounter is a sale. That whole encounter is a sale. Your resume is a written sale. So your resume from the very beginning is a sale because you're selling your experience, if you will. You get to the interview, now you're selling who you are, your personality. Can you really speak to the things that you wrote down on your resume? When you get a performance review, the way in which you write up your review is a sale. If you want to exceed expectation, it's a sale because we all know that they only give out a certain number of those. So therefore, why should I give it to you? Sell me on it. When you want to get promoted, it's a sale. Why should I pick you over the other person? You both have experience. You both do a great job, maybe in different ways, but you both do a great job. You both get the job done. Now, why should I pick you? It's a sale. When people say that you have to learn how to advocate for yourself, people are saying you have to learn how to sell the value that you're offering to an organization. How to talk about yourself, how to talk about your skills, and not in a way that is technical or logical, but in a way that connects with the person that you're saying it to. On the opposite side of that, You're an entrepreneur, and selling is a part of what we do all day in, all day out. Sales and marketing is more of business than probably anything else. It's the things they don't tell you, right? So, what is selling and how does it kind of play out here? When for most people who have a podcast, they're selling something. They're selling information. They're selling a product or service. They're selling themselves so that you get to know them, so that they can then sell you a product or service. Or you see the folks who have a podcast and they have ads. So what they're selling is the ability to build a big enough community that it can be leveraged by other companies. And so they sell their companies on, they have the numbers and the demographics so that they should sponsor ads on their podcast, give them money in order to reach you. Selling. If you want to be a coach, a course creator, anything like that, when it comes to online business, you have to master the art of selling. And selling isn't scared. When you are selling, you have got to be committed to the sale. You've got to be committed to saying the thing. You've got to be committed to your offer. You've got to be committed to how you help. Because if you're scared when you try to sell to me, I don't have number two. The second thing you need at work or in your business, confidence. If you're not confident about yourself, why should I be confident about yourself? What did Cat Williams say? If you're not confident enough to invest in you, why would I invest in you? And I'm going to tell you why I would invest in you. I would invest in you when I can see more of you than you can see yourself, because it allows me an advantage. It allows me to hire you for less than you are really worth or could command in the marketplace. It allows me to take advantage of your intellectual property. It allows me to exploit your services because I have more confidence than you have in yourself. So when you're not confident, people are either not going to be confident in you, or they're going to see what you don't see or what you're not willing to own, and they're going to exploit it. The in between to that is you're confident, so I'm confident, so let's work together. When you go to get promoted, you have to be confident. When you're in an interview, you have to be confident. If you're nervous and you're speaking like this and you're timid and whatnot, what am I going to do with you? You're supposed to be a professional. Sit up and speak like it. Hold your head up. Look people in the eye. Be confident. And if you're having a hard time being confident, that's where coaching comes in. That's where therapy comes in. We can help you develop the skill of being confident. The practicing of whatever it is that's in your way in order for you to be more confident in showing up for yourself. So the 3 skills you need to grow your business or grow and advance your career, these 3 skills are necessary whether you're at work doing a day job, whether you work for someone else, or if you work for yourself, or both, right? So if you have both and you don't have the ability to sell as a skill, if you don't have confidence in your product, your value, it's likely that both sides are struggling. So you got to determine where you want to practice those skills. And then number 3, relationships. You need relationships. There is no way around it. Yes, you can go online. Yes, you can go viral. Yes, you can have organic reach. You know, nowadays, maybe on TikTok, or you can still kind of get it on LinkedIn. Either way you look at it, whether it's in person or online, you need relationships with folks. Relationships is what it takes to grow your business or to advance in your career. You have to have the conversations, be in the room with the people, so that even if you're not in the room, somebody that was in the room from the time before brings your name up in another room, and it opens up another door. But what relationships also offer is valuable information, valuable access that will help you elevate who you are, how you show up, how you move in ways that you can't do alone. So relationships. Relationships mean, as you guys know, in CWL, we have a practice, and it's part of our the cornerstone of our work is strategic networking, relationship building. And our practice is that we meet with 3 people every month. So if you are in a professional setting, you're meeting with 3 leaders, at least 2 levels above you every month. If you are in business, or that's the part that you want to grow, then you're meeting with 3 people who you can collab with, people who have information that will help you be more successful. You are meeting with 3 people that a potential customer or client, maybe they're not ready right now, but the conversation will plant seeds for the future. You are meeting with 3 people every month. If you want to grow your business, if you want to grow your career, 3 people. There is nothing that you're doing at work or in your business that is more important than relationships. The more relationships you have, the more conversations you have, the more confident in your knowing you will become, and the easier it will be for you to sell. You see how I put those back together and gave it back to you in reverse? The more relationships you have means the more conversations you have, means the more people that you have told about you and the work that you do and what makes you great. And the more you have those conversations, the more you mold your story, the more you build it out, the more times you say it, the more confident you become in your story. The easier it is for you to sell folks on how you can help them. When you want to be promoted, what it comes down to is selling a leader on why you are the best person to help them. In order to do that, you really need to have had a conversation with them to know what it is that they want, what it is that they desire. In order to then think about the story you're going to tell confidently that's going to include your special combination of skills to sell them on why you're that girl. You see what I mean? And what I want you to take away from this call is that there is no escaping those 3 things. There's no escaping those 3 things. This is why people say your network is your net worth, which is a very surface level saying, because technically that's not true. But it gives off the gist of you got to have relationships in order to grow. You got to be talking to people, being visible, allowing people to see you so that you can become confident in your story and you have the ability to sell. So the takeaway from this podcast, I want you to pick one of those 3 that you're going to work on for the next 30 days. Are you going to work on selling, building relationships, or your confidence? And I want you to get inside of Confident Woman Lead with that goal and show up to the call so that we can help you put together a strategy to achieve that goal. Because if you can sell, if you can build relationships, and if you're confident in doing it, money won't be an issue. Where you work and having to settle for circumstances, not having your voice heard, growing your coaching business or your course creation business, all of that will take care of itself if you can build relationships, Sell people on what you have and do it with confidence. I'm Anita. Remember, confident women lead because we know how to sell water to a well.